For the latest top tips, reviews and advice, please subscribe below.
Hello and welcome to Attwoolls Outdoors with me, Mike. Today I'm giving you a bit of a range view on a new collection from Vango. So with me here today I've got the Vango Sentinel range and the Sentinel TC. So the Sentinel range almost replaces the Experience range, and what it kind of offers is, again, something that's price orientated, so it's something that essentially is not going to cost an awful lot, but still doesn't compromise on quality. And actually from a specification point of view, it's really been up-spec'd for the new 23 season going forward. So there's a load of features inside of here. Main focus is on obviously colour retention, having more breathability, and still offering lots more versatility, I think, is a key thing. And you'll see that throughout the range. And what is very noticeable is you'll have a model and then you have an option to buy it in, say, polyester, polycotton, or both polled and air. So, and we've got a whole new name collection, so plenty to get through. First and foremost, we've got a brand new colour in the mineral green. The mineral green is basically a new Sentinel material, and what it's designed to be is actually it's more durable in terms of its colour life. What they've actually done is redo the dyeing process in a different way. So what they now do is actually dye the thread rather than dye the fabric itself before it's sort of woven, for example. What this basically does, it gives you more of a carrot scenario, bear with me. By dyeing the thread itself, and when you weave it, basically the colours through the thread all the way, like a carrot. When you would dye the fabric once it was pre-woven, generally you'd find you get more like a radish scenario, so the colour on the outside, but the core is actually kind of more like a white. So when you have the UV beating down and stripping out the sort of the external material, as it will do, evidently, essentially the colour was coming, the inner colour was coming out. So what you find is actually it looks like they were fading quicker. Now, certainly with the new way they do it, you should get that colour retention a lot more. And actually the whole process of dyeing the thread rather than dyeing the actual pre-woven material is the fact that actually you save 60% of water. So it's more eco-friendly to do so. Hence why they've kind of branded it Colour Lock Eco. Locks the colour in because it's in the thread, and it's eco because it saves water. So generally that's kind of the concept behind it. Throughout the collection we've got lots of key features on ventilation, as well as designs we've known and loved for many years, and we'll kind of go through that in every single way. We have done individual videos in detail, so if you like a model, apology for the quickness of it, it's a bit more of an overview, you can go more in depth with things as we go through. First one we'll start with is the classic kind of Cragmore. The Cragmore takes over very much from kind of the Karen. Is available in a 400 and a 500 in polled. Again, that nice colour. Darker bedrooms, there's more ventilation, so the front door's got now sort of mesh built into it to help with airflow. Generally, it's a really nice sort of tent, price orientated, but has a lot for its money. Then we move up to the Harris. The Harris is really quite a nice model, available in two sizes in both polled, air and TC. So what you find is you can get a 350, which we have here in the polled. You can also get it in a 500. This is really replacing the Avon Flow. Same kind of concept of it. It's all about ventilation. So your front door here, so you've got two mesh doors built into it, and you've got curtains behind, which zip up. Side mesh door, darker bedroom. I think the 350 is really quite a nice size, and it's generally a real sort of true free berth. The slightly larger size, the 500, also works really quite nicely. Just a bit more space, and again, it just offers a little bit more. So you're available in the air, as you can see here, or the polled. So you can get both models in polled or air in both sizes, and there's also a TC model available in polled for the 500, but we'll come to that towards the latter part of this video. When you move the 500, you've got two bedroom spaces. The divider can move a little bit, but you got sort of one side has PVC window and the other has that mesh part. But the joys of kind of the Harris is the front door can fully open up and sort of tuck away to the side, so it actually feels, you bring the outside in. And again, it's all about ventilation. So as we come and look at the back of it, you've got a really nice big mesh panel located there to help air flow in. So you have it open like so on a really warm day when the weather's nice. When it's not, you still have the ventilation point, just with the cover. So again, you have a lot more flexibility on kind of how you do that. As we kind of go around, another new tent that we've got is essentially the Lismore. Now Lismore is probably the most versatile of the whole range. It's a free zone tent, sleeping, living and front sort of awning section, which is completely enclosed. It replaces Stargrove in its name, and one of the reasons they kind of replaced all the names because they almost are different tents, because you've got different fabrics, different features. It's not a like for like comparison, it is a whole new tent. So the Stargrove again, well not Stargrove, sorry, the Lismore is available in a 450 and a 600 size. You can also get it in poled, in air, and in poled in air. So TC in air and TC poled. So the full collection of choosing your size, choosing your specification, and choosing your structure. So again, that works really quite nicely. The 450 has 2 bedrooms at the back. They're a true 4-berth really for me. And then you've also got curtains and obviously zip points inside. And then you can close the front part of the awning. Another new tent they've brought into the range is we're looking at the Castlewood. So the Castlewood is basically a really nice model, available in 2 sizes. It's a vis-a-vis tent. Sleeping at either side means you have a communal living area and you have separate bedding sections really quite nice and neatly. Available in a 400 and also then 800 XL. Basically this is replacing kind of the Longley as we know and loved it, but again, different feature spec. You've got that really nice extra ventilation, which probably was one of its slightly downer points of its predecessor, is that there wasn't much airflow, but we've got that same ventilation point we saw in the Harris. And the 450 I think is really quite nice and cute. You know, you've got a 2-berth on each side, really big mesh panel on / door on both sides, and the joys with this actually is that you can actually buy some additional king poles and really bring it out to make an extra bit of canopy. Of course, you can also look at buying additional side extensions if you really wanted to, just to add a bit more to it. And we've got the larger 800 XL here, again in the poled, so it's available both in a poled and an air, so you can kind of again pick and choose your poison, which what you wanted. The 800, you've got a 4-berth either side, again darker bedrooms, dividers each way, and you've got 2 doors, so one either side, that kind of almost offset one another. PVC windows with low level ventilation throughout of it, and you still get your core themes like you've got your TBS, you've got your hanging point for lanterns, you've got your pre-angled guide points, 2-tone guy ropes as well, so you a really nice kind of mango orange on the bottom, and it floats sort of in the middle. Lismore. So this is the larger version of Lismore. We saw the small little 450 just before the last one. And this is sort of the larger. So the 450 is about 3 meters wide. This is 380. Bigger sort of width. Generally, you find it's probably more orientated for families rather than the 450. I say it's more couples. But again, this is the air version, so you can see in comparison, decent amount of space, but you can happily put a sort of table and chair set more than happily in here. The bedroom scenario is looking 6, so you've got a 2, 2, and a 2. Whereas the 450 it's really just a 2 and a 2. The bedroom sizes are a bit smaller per person in the 600, about 60 centimeters per person, whereas you go to the 450, you're benefiting from 70 centimeters per person, so you can more than happily get that. Now, one thing to throw a spanner in the works is they do a Lismore 700, but this is a DXL model, deluxe. So the deluxe model actually has 3 main features that are different to the normal Lismore. One of which being webbing straps on the front and the back to give additional tension to the roof. You've got your rain-safe canopy door on the side, and also then the front door slightly differently. So as you see here, the front door on a normal Lismore goes from right to left, and only right to left, whereas the Lismore DXL can go right to left or left to right, and can actually zip down fully, so you don't have to have a rigged sausage roll hanging on the side of it. You can literally lay it flat on the inside of here. The 700 XL DXL is a really nice size, you know, really boastful, plenty of headroom height, you know, nice bedrooms. Again, configuration wise, you're sort of looking at a 2, 3, and a 2, but for me personally, I think you've got your master bedroom in the middle, and then sort of 2 in a 2 either side of it. Your curtains are built into it, and because you've got a rain-safe canopy door, you can leave that open more than happily and still allow that ventilation to come through. One of the big updates they've also done is down to the entrances. They run flat, but they've got a lot more toggle points, even in some cases Velcro, to get that extra bit of seal. Castlewood available in kind of the air, so it's the same as we just saw it on the very far side. Same principle in every single way, just air, and you can see how we've kind of got that extra bit of ventilation on this one. We've kind of like sort of gusseted it out. There are extra sort of side extensions. You can look for those as well, as previously mentioned, and the side extensions would actually fit the other Lismore models. You probably get a 450 on. This one is the 700 DXL in the air. So we just saw the Lismore larger version. Again, we've still got storm straps. This works really nicely. I think this is probably one of my favourite tents of the range, just for the sheer size. You know, it's a real proper family camping tent. Again, at a price point, we've got super beams in here as well. And then we've got curtains, rain-safe canopy doors, nice big bedrooms. We've still got the Vango's TBS system, which works really quite nice and neatly. And again, just kind of gives over a bit more sort of space throughout. As we kind of look round, what we will then do is touch on the available Sentinel TC tents. So not only have we got the Macala, which has been in the range for a number of years now, so that's still in the collection, but we then have the Harris in a TC. So it's only available in the Pold, but it's a 500 size, decent sort of tent, lots of ventilation points, so you get the back ventilation point. Difference being with the TC range in the Sentinel is we've got storm straps on the front and back. You also benefit from, it almost feels like a darker bedroom just because of the nature of the fabric's a little bit darker, but more importantly, you also get Skytrack in these TC tents. So it's a hanging point for a lantern you can create, so little sky hooks. You can also put storage organisers quite nice and neatly into them, or even have your mains cable running across them really quite nice and neatly. Excuse me. But you've got ventilation again in all the other panels, so it's really quite smart. Again, Lismore TC. You've got the mesh sides. This is a 450 model, so you can see straight a difference between the 450 size and then the 600 size, be it all in Pold and air. Pre-angled beams, tubes as well as poles, and they're all colour coordinated poles, storm straps, looking really quite smart. And then we've got that bedroom differences going through. So there's a lot of talking points throughout the actual pole part. Again, you can really, like I said, especially with the Lismore in particular, you can pick and choose your size collection or how big or small you want it to be. So it's any more questions or queries, of course, you're more welcome to contact us at Attwoolls. And if you want more in-depth individual videos on any of the range, of course, you can always do so. If you do have any more information or any feedback, it's always great to hear from you guys. But essentially, really, that is kind of the new Sentinel collection in both the TC and the normal sort of polyester material for the 20 collection. So thank you very much for watching, and hopefully we'll see you again soon in the next Attwoolls Outdoors video.